Imagine standing on a deserted beach, the salty wind whipping around you. 3 long years you've been away, battling storms, war, and bureaucracy, all to bring vital supplies to your colony, your family. As you finally step ashore, expectation turns to dread. The fort is gone. The house is vanished. Not a soul. Only silence. And then, you see it. Carved into a sturdy tree, one single, cryptic word, Croatoan. What happened here? Where did everyone go? This is the chilling question that has haunted American history for over 400 years, the mystery of the lost colony of Roanoke. In the late 16th century, England was eager to plant its flag in the New World. Sir Walter Raleigh, a favorite of Queen Elizabeth I, spearheaded the first attempts. His vision, a permanent English settlement in the vast territory known as Virginia. But ambition often clashed with the brutal realities of a wild, unknown land. The first expedition in 1585, led by Sir Richard Grenville, established a military outpost on Roanoke Island. It was a tough beginning. Supplies dwindled, and relations with the local Secottan tribe quickly soured. When a silver cup went missing, Grenville retaliated by burning a native village and its crops. This act of violence would echo for years to come. The colony was eventually abandoned, its settlers rescued by Sir Francis Drake. Undeterred, Raleigh organized a second attempt in 1587. This time, the goal was different. It wasn't just a military outpost, but a true civilian colony, city of Raleigh, with families, farmers, and artisans. John White, an artist who had been on the first expedition, was appointed governor. He brought his daughter, Eleanor Dare, and her husband, Ananias Dare. They had high hopes, even a specific instruction to settle further north in the Chesapeake Bay. But fate, or perhaps simple human error, intervened. The fleet's pilot, Simon Fernandez, refused to take them past Roanoke, claiming he had fulfilled his contract. So, the settlers, numbering around 115 men, women, and children, found themselves back on the site of the previous failed colony. The old fort was in ruins, but they began to rebuild, to dream of a new life. Tragedy struck almost immediately. A colonist, George Howe, was killed while crabbing, likely by vengeful natives. The settlers tried to make peace. Manteo, a friendly Croatoan chief, who had traveled to England, was baptized and made Lord of Roanoke and Dassamungwapook. For a brief moment, hope flickered. On August 18, 1587, Governor White's granddaughter, Virginia Dare, became the first English child born in the Americas. A symbol of their future. But the colony was still desperately short on supplies. Governor White was persuaded to return to England to gather reinforcements and provisions. He left his family, his entire colony, with a solemn promise: he would be back in a few months. But those few months stretched into 3 agonizing years. Why the delay? Europe was consumed by war. Spain, under King Philip II, launched its formidable armada against England in 1588. Every available ship and sailor was conscripted for the defense of the realm. John White tried repeatedly to sail, but his attempts were thwarted. By the time he finally secured passage and returned to Roanoke in August 1590, the Spanish Armada had been defeated, but the calendar had turned 3 times. As White's small group approached the shore, a fire was sighted. A hopeful sign. Perhaps they were there. But as they landed, the silence was deafening. The settlement was gone. The houses had been dismantled, a palisade built around the site. No sign of struggle, no bodies, no trace of the 115 men, women, and children. Only the profound, unsettling quiet of an abandoned place. Then, they saw it. Carved into a gatepost, clearly, starkly, Croatoan. On a nearby tree, without the cross symbol White had instructed them to carve if they were in distress, was CRO. White knew what it meant. Before he left, he had arranged with the colonists that if they were forced to move, they should carve the name of their destination. If they were in danger, they should carve a Maltese cross above it. There was no cross. This suggested a planned, orderly relocation. But where were they? White tried to reach Croatoan Island, Mantio's homeland, but a violent storm blew his ships off course, damaging their anchors and supplies. With conditions worsening, the expedition was forced to return to England. John White never saw his family or his colony again. The fate of the Roanoke settlers became America's oldest, enduring mystery. What could have happened? Scholars and historians have proposed numerous theories. Could they have been slaughtered by hostile natives? It's possible, given the earlier tensions, but the lack of bodies and the orderly dismantling of the settlement contradict this. Did the Spanish attack them? Unlikely, as no Spanish records mention such an assault, and they would have left a more discernible trace. Was it famine or disease? A severe drought gripped the region around that time, forcing many to move. The colony could have suffered terribly, leading to mass death or desperate dispersal. But again, no mass graves have been found. The most persistent theory, and arguably the one with the most supporting evidence, points to integration. The carving, Croatoan, was a direct message. Mantio's people were known to be friendly. Perhaps, faced with starvation and lack of supplies, the colonists sought refuge with their native allies, intermarrying and assimilating into their culture. For centuries, the Lumbee tribe of North Carolina have shared oral traditions of their ancestors encountering and blending with these English settlers. Physical traits like gray eyes and fair hair have been observed among some Lumbee families, alongside surnames that match those of the lost colonists. The truth of Roanoke likely isn't a single, dramatic event, but a story of adaptation and survival. The most compelling evidence, combined with native oral histories and archaeological findings of European artifacts at indigenous sites, points towards the Roanoke colonists integrating with local Native American tribes, most likely the Croatoans or other Algonquian-speaking groups. They didn't vanish into thin air, they made a choice to survive, blending into the rich tapestry of the indigenous cultures. The lost colony wasn't lost at all, but transformed, its people becoming part of the land they sought to settle, their legacy living on through the descendants of these intertwined peoples.